It's Hyp3r Halloween!
Have you ever wondered what it would be like if Superman was a bad guy? I'm sure there are probably tons of comics that cover the subject, but today's film, Brightburn, explores this topic in movie form. Well, okay, it doesn't cover Superman specifically, but it does feature an alien that lands on Earth and is brought up in the same way that Clark Kent was. And in addition, the alien has superhuman strength, so the comparison is definitely there. Let's go over the story in a little more detail. As I already mentioned, an alien spaceship crash lands on planet Earth. The spaceship contains a baby boy and is discovered by a couple that lives near the crash site. The couple, whose names are Kyle and Tori, decide to take the alien child and raise it as their own. See? Just like Superman. The reason Kyle and Tori decide to do this is because they're having trouble conceiving a child of their own. The movie takes place when the baby, which his adoptive parents named Brandon, turns 12. Brandon begins to realize that he's actually pretty special. He's never been seriously hurt in his life, he has super strength, and he's able to fly. That sounds pretty super to me. He's also developing a bit of an attitude, as most kids tend to do around that age. We also see that Brandon is a little awkward at school. He's a smart kid, but he's picked on and bullied a lot. As one can expect, Brandon finds out about his alien origins and ends up going on a rampage. He kills people who bullied him, people that threatened him, and even people close to him. He becomes a supervillain called Brightburn, and he is brutal in every sense of the word. The reason that Brightburn, or Brandon, decides to use his powers for evil is not explicitly stated. Yes, he is picked on and bullied throughout, but there's a bit more to the situation. The ship that Brandon landed in was kept by his adoptive parents. The ship imprinted a message on Brandon: "Take the world," which you can also hear Brandon chant during a sleepwalking sequence and see scribbled in his notebook as well. Fun fact, and another parallel to Superman, Brandon's ship has the only material that can hurt him. Again, going back to the non-explicit message as to why Brandon does what he does, there's also a classroom scene that goes into detail on a type of wasp that puts their young in different hives to get other wasps to feed them. This actually correlates to Brandon himself. He was sent to Earth to take the world, and clearly whomever sent him had others feed and take care of him for 12 years. Wasps are also an aggressive species, which, again, foreshadows the turn to villainy. Another fun fact for you, Brandon's Brightburn mask is also inspired by wasps as well. All in all, Brightburn is a pretty fun movie. It has a unique premise with an original supervillain, and it does a pretty good job exploring the idea. The only issue I have is there isn't enough Brightburn. You're here to see a movie about a supervillain, and we really don't get many cool scenes with him in action until the credits. I mean, sure, we get an origin story and a bunch of scenes with him terrorizing people, which are great, but I felt there just should have been more. Speaking of the scenes where Brightburn terrorizes people, that's where the horror aspects of the film come into play. And as I already mentioned, they're great. In any case, if you're looking for a unique take on the superhero movie genre, this may scratch that itch.